Hi, I'm Shonna Slayton, and I am the author of Cinderella's Dress. Welcome to Coffee with Authors. We are broadcasting late at night, so I am actually not drinking coffee. I am drinking candy cane green tea so that I can sleep tonight. My guest today is Amy K. Nichols. Amy, hello, welcome.
Hello.
She is the author of Now That You're Here, a book that came out just a few weeks ago. Amy, this is brand new. Let me show my copy.
Should I show my copy?
My copy's better than your copy because I went to your launch party and got it signed, and
Yay.
you get to use this shiny silver pen.
And look what I wrote. You are awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So tell me about your story.
Am I supposed to tell you what I'm drinking first?
Oh, yes. What are you drinking?
This is my really cool grammar mug. Can you see it? That my friend Lori Phillips gave me. It's all about pronouns. I know my grammar. And I'm drinking something called chocolate puer tea, which sounds really weird and has a horrifying name, but is actually supposed to be really good for you. It's Puerh. Anyway.
You have to be careful how you pronounce that.
Right. I always feel weird saying I'm drinking. I usually don't say what I'm drinking. Anyway. So what did you ask me?
Tell me about your story. Now that you're here.
So this is my debut novel, Now That You're Here. It came out 3 weeks ago, I think. Almost 4. It's a science fiction story about a boy named Danny who jumps to a parallel universe where his parents are dead and his friends are his enemies, and he doesn't know anybody, but he recognizes a girl named Evie, who is a girl that he knows from his world. She's a stranger, but she kissed him in an unusual circumstance. And so he befriends her and seeks out her help in figuring out how he got to this new world and how he can get back.
So cool.
Thank you.
How did you come up with the idea?
It actually came out of a previous manuscript that I had written. The first novel that I completed was a young adult novel about a girl named Evie and her best friend Warren. And Evie had an older sister in that story. And it was a really bad first novel, as a lot of first novels are. It was really bad. But I really liked my character Evie, and I especially liked her best friend Warren. And so I decided to do a little more exploring on her character. So I put her in a classroom, in an English class, and just kind of try to figure out her character a little bit more. And all of a sudden, the boy sitting next to her woke up. He was sort of a loser character who always had his head down, and he woke up and didn't know where he was or how he got there, but he did recognize her, and that was really interesting to me. So I kept following that story and figuring out who he was, and what I ended up with was a novel that is told in dual points of view. So it goes back and forth between Danny's point of view and Evie's, and tells the story of how he jumped from another universe.
And you have, this is just part one of the thought, right? There's another flip side.
Yeah, the really fun part of these books, it's a 2-part series, or a duology is what they're calling it. And the second book is called Youre Gone, and it tells the opposite story of the other Danny who is displaced by this Danny. It's very confusing to talk about. So when the Danny in this book jumps, it displaces the Danny from this world into the parallel world. So in book 2, we follow the other Danny and the other Evie, and in between the novels, there are crossover scenes. So in book 1, you get glimpses of the other world. In book 2, you get glimpses of book 1. And so as you're reading the second book, it changes how you understand the first book.
I love that. That is so cool.
Thank you. It was really interesting and fun and difficult to write. But it was fun. I liked it.
Speaking of fun, your launch party was a lot of fun, too. Your dad was there taking pictures. He was so cute.
Thank you for coming. It was so great to see you there and to have your support. I really appreciated that.
One of the things I liked about your launch party, you had your video. You've got a really cool video.
Trailer. Yeah, I made a book trailer. It was one thing I just kind of wanted to have, and I had seen other people make some pretty cool trailers, and I thought, you know, I have a background in web design and graphics. So I thought I would try my hand with video editing, and so I spent a couple days tinkering around with Adobe products, and I created a trailer. And so I showed it to my editor, and she forwarded it on to marketing at Random House, and they loved it, and so they put it up on the Random House YouTube site, and which was kind of an honor. I felt really, I don't know, excited by that. And so the trailer is actually the first chapter of the book. The first chapter is incredibly short. It's just a few sentences, and I thought this would be perfect. It's actually the back cover copy on the book too. So I thought, well, they're kind of using it for marketing anyway. I'll go ahead and make that the narrative for the trailer. And so I went ahead and played it at the launch party instead of reading that, you know, just having my voice, blah, blah, blah. I decided I would go ahead and show it because it's a little more interesting. It's got some graphics that are neat, and yeah. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, if I remember, I'll link it below in the YouTube thing so that people can look at it.
It's on the Random House Kids YouTube channel under the videos playlist.
Okay, good. Now, I have to let everybody know that we've known each other for almost a year now because we met at Changing Hands Yallapalooza event, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
It is.
It is, and I have to tell you, you know, my book, I hadn't even started editing my novel yet when we met, and I was kind of freaking out about this whole getting published and having to tell people about my book, and you know, it was like God knew that I needed a friend, and he said, here's Amy. And
yeah, I felt the same way, and I was freaking out for you because I've been through my edits, and I was like working on the book too, and I think you had just gotten your letter or something, or you were.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd even gotten it yet. It was, yeah, I was nervous.
Yeah, I could tell. But you pulled it off. You did a great job.
I tell you. So in light of that, you know, you and I actually went to a couple events together this past year that was fun. Do you have any special moments that you remember of your debut, like leading up to your debut, and I don't know, anything that you want to share with us? Like we were at Comic-Con and ALA in Las Vegas.
Gosh, it's kind of a blur. You know, there was a neat moment last summer. I went to San Diego Comic-Con, which is a crazy geeky blast, and they gave out ARCs of my book there, and I got to sign a few of them, and that was really fun to meet some readers and to start being part of the convention world. And then we had Phoenix Comic-Con around that same time, and so that was the first Comic-Con local that I got to participate in, which was sort of a dream come true for me. And then to be on that debut panel with you and some other authors was really, really fun. Another moment, one of the scary things about having a debut novel is when you start getting the professional reviews, you know, those start coming out. And so I was a little afraid. I'd heard of other people's reactions to reviews and how Kirkus makes people cry, and so I was really worried about that, and they all turned out to be really, I don't want to brag, but they turned out to be really positive, and so that was...
What made you cry? That's good.
Well, it made me cry in a good way. Like, it was my Sally Field moment. They like me. They really like me. So that was wonderful. Yeah, and then I got to do a signing at Mysterious Galaxy, which is also a dream of mine. That's an amazing bookstore in San Diego, and they had a brand new store with a grand opening, and they had a holiday party with about 10 different authors, and they invited me over to be part of that, and that was a dream come true. And now we're going to do Yallapalooza together, which for years I've gone to that event, and it's just been, I've been in the audience watching and dreaming, and now I get to be up there with you guys, and I'm really excited.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, thank you so much, Amy, for doing this. Do you have, you know, I know a lot of writers are going to be watching this as well. Do you have any, like, tips for those who are, you know, 2015 is just getting started, everyone's making their resolutions and their goals?
It is. You know, it took me a long time to get up enough courage to do this, and I feel like I waited too long. So if you're watching this and you are feeling afraid or, you know, rejection, and those are scary things. You know, showing your work to other people is scary, but I would just encourage you to just go for it. You have nothing to lose. Sometimes people say no, but, you know, that's okay. Just keep going. For a practical tip, though, I do have this. One thing I keep on my desk is this little timer, which you can see is a little chicken. You see, bark, bark, So there's a technique called the Pomodoro technique, and what you do is you set a timer for 20 minutes, and you work nonstop on one thing for 20 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break and do something completely unrelated. And you do that in cycles, like 3 or 4 cycles, and it really increases your productivity. So if you have a word count goal for the day, I really recommend the Pomodoro technique. There is also an app you can use, but I really like my little chicken. So.
Does it do that bok bok sound?
No, it's just tick ticks and then dings. You can kind of hear the dingers. But I don't know, when I'm lonely or I'm frustrated, sometimes I talk to him. Or to my Doctor Who doll. Doctor, tell me the answers. Okay, that's enough of that.
All right. Well, Amy, thank you so much. I look forward to reading the second half of this when it comes out. When's it coming out?
It comes out August 4th.
August 4th. Okay.
When does your book come out?
My next book comes out, I think it's October 6th.
Okay. Okay. Yay!
And I am already editing it, so I'm ahead of you.
That's good.
All right, Amy, thank you so much for playing. We'll see you around.
Bye.